Alright, welcome back. We're now ready for question 10, which is all about copyright. The first question asks, is the book licensed under Creative Commons? If so, which kind? This is actually a very easy question because if it is licensed, it will be noted in the book. Let me give you an example that we had seen earlier, The Wind and the Sun. If you look here, this is a Creative Commons licensing. Sometimes they use the logos. They don't have to, but hopefully you will see a logo. Otherwise, you may just see the words CC BY and then maybe some of these other options. But if you see a logo, it's the easiest thing in the world. All you have to do is look at that logo and see which one of these choices it matches. So here we have CC BY INSEE SA, which is this choice right here, CC BY INSEE SA. You'll be very happy if it is Creative Commons licensed because then you get to skip all of these other questions. It makes your life easier, and we move just right along. However, Creative Commons is a relatively recent thing, so a lot of books you will not find that logo or any of these options. So if you do not see any CC BY anything, then you just click the first option. So then it says, is it marked with a copyright symbol? This is what the copyright symbol looks like. If it is, it'll probably be within the first few pages, what we call the front matter. You look for it. If you see one, great. If you don't see one, then you click no. If you do see one, then you look at the name next to the symbol, and you see, is it most likely, if there is a copyright symbol, it will be the publisher's name, perhaps the sponsoring organization or the funder, whoever owns the copyright to that. So this will be the most likely answer that you will find. Otherwise, in some cases, it might be the author, it might be rarely the illustrator, or it might be something completely different than any of these names that you entered in the previous questions. So you just see, does it match any of these names that we've already entered under question 4, 2, or 9B for publisher, author, or illustrator? Or is there another name next to it? Or is there an additional name in addition to one of these? Then you can click Other. Alright. And then finally, is there any explicit statement granting permissions for reuse of this work? Again, if you have clicked any of the Creative Commons, you will be able to skip all of that. There may be additional statements, but if we have the Creative Commons licensings, we don't even need to know the rest of this. This already tells us everything that we need to know. Some books may have statements saying you are permitted to use this for non-commercial and non-profit purposes only. You are permitted to use this. You are permitted to redistribute freely. If it says the words public domain, then you would click the second option. Any kind of statement that says you are allowed to use this book in certain ways, then you click one of these. A lot of times you will see the opposite, which is all rights reserved. That means the publisher doesn't want you to use their book at all without their permission, in which case they may say all rights reserved or equivalent wording, depending on which language it's in. And if you don't see any statements, or for example you don't read the language that it is written in, then you can always click this last option, which means no, I don't see anything giving any permissions or restrictions on reusing this work. That's fine. This is always an option, and if that's what it is, that's what it is. If you are concerned that maybe it says something but you're not sure if this is what it means or that's what it means or this is what it means, and you want to clarify, you have this optional space for adding comments that have anything to do with any of these questions 10A through 10D. If you don't have any comments, particularly if you have been lucky enough to come across a Creative Commons book, then you just click which kind it is. That's all we need to know, and then you can go ahead and click Next. So we'll pick up with question 11 in the next video.